back. How are we feeling? All right, I got a Twitch notification. I should be back. All right, let's go. Fuck, man. Oh, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like TwitchCon. This TwitchCon business, no good. Not a fucking fan, y'all. Ooh, you know what I want to go do? Well, I don't know if I can actually. All right, let's finish this up. God damn, now that people are back in here. Thank y'all for sticking with me, by the way, tonight.
And you're not
again, your audience, what do you think? Don't talk about my audience or your audience. This isn't a debate between me and your fucking chat, okay?
I have no idea, Danger Days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Dude, yeah.
I want communism.
Activision, if you want to rub elbows with the Activision execs and all those people,
you're just recycling all this dumb
how
shit
the fuck?
that
How
isn't
the
sticking
fuck?
at all. Like,
okay, all right.
He called him a communist. He talks about how everybody wants gay communism, and he's like, yeah, your rub and shoulder was the Activision execs. Are you out of your fucking gourd? You. Oh, poor YouTube chat. Is there somebody? Oh my God, YouTube, you're back. YouTube, I've missed you so much. Oh my God, this stream has been a fucking nightmare because I've been I mean, like, I love you guys on Twitch, but it's been like streaming to like 50 people on Twitch, and like most people come from YouTube. Wanted to applaud and thank you for dispelling gay pan mess. You're welcome, David. David Deckham. Hell yeah. Rolling in real late. It's okay. Okay, this is not going to go well. I need to... There you are, you little fucker. Okay, sorry. I will get the video started again. Streaming on Twitch. Yeah, I stream. I always multi-stream. If something goes down, I stream on Twitch and YouTube. Kinker Blunk, thank you for subbing at tier 1.
Like,
but hang on, back to the women thing.
Andy, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Has God taken the anger out of your heart?
Why do you ask that?
I just curious.
I mean, if you're...
Do you think... I want you to be... You don't have to be honest with me, but you got to be honest with him. Well, do you think where you're at right now,
you're not a Christian,
God has taken the anger out of your heart?
Oh, I love this. This is my favorite part.
I didn't say that. I'm asking you, man. I'm asking you.
Well, what does it matter if God doesn't exist? What does it matter?
What are you talking about? You think God doesn't exist now?
No. You said that you're not a Christian earlier, so I assume you don't think God exists. So what does it matter?
Oh, so you're just making assumptions.
So you do believe that God exists?
Why are you asking all them questions?
Okay.
Making
so you're not a
statements?
practicing... Would you call yourself a Christian?
No. I don't go to church. I don't practice religion. Okay. I mean, you know, there's like non-denominational people who don't ascribe to like, at least from my understanding,
right?
You know, different denominations. There's so many interpretations of Christianity, but
right.
I'm asking you.
I will pray about that, and thank you for bringing that to my attention, and I will consider that.
Consider what?
Fuck you! No, you won't.
About me being hateful, and you know, like as a Christian, I do have to consider that stuff. Like I don't want to be hateful. You have to look. But you have to decide how you want to pursue internet fame. What path do you want to go down? Because like I've told you, I've seen some of your other older videos that you've tried to hide from your audience, and some of them are good. Some of them are good. You know, you had a video about how Fallout New Vegas has the best quest design, and you know, it's like, yeah, fuck yeah. You know, you should do more stuff like that and not pander so much
to the gays are destroying our video games crowd. Well, it's like, sure. So yes, but the boy
they
who cried
are
wolf,
though,
okay?
bro. It's
so it's hard
obvious.
to find the wolf when every fucking time a new game comes out, it's woke, and the gays are ruining it every fucking time a new video. You just said 100% of the games that come out are woke. Every single fucking one of them. Okay, this is a boy who cried wolf scenario, and it's
okay.
I can't. How am I supposed to take? Am I just supposed to believe in what you say blindly?
Dude,
are you the ultimate arbiter of what's gay and woke and all this? You know what I mean? Like,
dude, I'm just saying it's odd that you never talk about it. It's odd that you never talk about it.
Because
I talk about it when I feel like it's an actual issue, or when I have like the Hogwarts Legacy stuff,
because he's not obsessed with it like you fucking weirdo.
I've talked about this before. I did a video. It was like Ocarina of Time is a gay coming of age story. I did a response to this random article, and it was so bizarre, and it was just what I've always made fun of and criticized on my channel is bad faith critique of video games and the medium of video games. And people make bad faith arguments on the left, people make bad faith arguments on the right. Okay, I don't discriminate against either of those. It's all fair game. Okay,
like
it's all fair game.
Just a
so I don't fence it. I don't play both.
There's a difference in the framing that I need to call out here. That like, there's a difference between somebody's artistic interpretation, saying like, oh, it's a gay coming of age story because I resonated with it because this, and this, like like a lot of essays do. There's a difference between that and being like an argument you need to push back on because it endangers people. Like, a gay reading of a work of art doesn't fucking matter. Like, if people align with it in that way, if they identify with a piece in that way, fucking let them. How is that equivalent to this kind of like conspiracy bullshit? That, like, by the way, Andypants is like one breath away from always saying the JQ at any given point. Oh yeah, well, Lirene, we've been having some stream issues because I never stopped streaming. I've been streaming for like 3 hours, something like that. Yeah, what time is it? No, I've been streaming for like no, I haven't been streaming for 5. No, I've been streaming for about 4, I think. Yeah. The dork ass stuck on a doorway. Get you some. Wonder if I can shoot these again. The bag physics on these are way goofier. Oh yeah, I need to grab that. Oh, I need to. I hate. All right, I'm just gonna shutter it. There you go. Fuck. Do I not? Why is it not? Does it need to be straight on? All right, whatever. All right, let me.
Signs.
Dude, of course you do. You said you did in a video.
Snoozy, that's the very same.
Politics in the real world, not in video games. Come on, bro.
It's the same thing, dude. You're still.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
How fitting? Because you don't want to piss off the leftists because that would interfere with your bag. I get it.
That is the dumbest fucking thing I've heard.
Okay.
Why would I not look at the views you're getting on your audience? Why would I not cater to that crowd? What are you talking about?
Because you don't want it. Because you would lose.
Yeah, I would lose. Yeah, I would lose the lefties. That's why when you're saying your audience is wondering why you don't cover this, yeah, it's when people unsubscribed.
Right. And no,
it's not the leftists.
Dude, I do appreciate your advice from earlier, but the reality is,
do you want to focus on that?
Even in my old Xbox videos, I talked about woke stuff. I talked about woke stuff on my old Xbox channel. It's just that happened to be an audience that didn't want to hear me talk about the woke stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna follow the algorithm and make content that my audience wants here. But I still 100% have always believed the woke stuff. I've always been very passionate and outspoken about my faith.
Yeah, but you had
changed in that regard.
You had nuanced takes though. That was the difference. Is that you would say things along the lines of, yes, I think more trans, gay, lesbian characters in games is a good thing. However, that doesn't mean you get to criticize. Wait. However, that doesn't mean, I'm paraphrasing what you're saying, by the way. Right. But I have we have the videos. But you would say, however, that doesn't mean you get to criticize Kojima for fetishizing women in his games. And I was like, you know what? That's a nuanced take. Like, right. you are hard pivoting to a very specific crowd. And
dude, I'm not pivoting to anything. This is stuff that I've always talked about. I'll show you
you have always talked about it, but you were not as far gone as you are right now. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that's why I ask, did God has he taken the hatred out of your heart? Ooh, and you don't have to answer that to me or your audience or anybody, but you will have to answer that to him.
Dude, there's certain activities and actions that God says are shameful and says are sinful, and so
the ninth commandment.
I'm taking a stand for Christ every single day that I make my YouTube channel and that I make videos. I'm taking a stand for truth. I'm taking a stand for God, and so I don't have to be ashamed about any of that.
These people? It's like it's the same thing that Matt Walsh said about
like kind of claiming to be a lukewarm Christian.
I'm
and
a human with a soul.
No, don't misinterpret. Don't.
I don't actually believe anything. Versus like I'm standing on God's word. I'm a Christian, and I'm standing on those values, and I make videos about it.
Hypnotism.
But I get it, dude. I get it. You don't want to get into religion. Nobody ever wants to talk about religion, so I'm not going to talk about that.
I don't mind. I brought it up.
He's the one who brought it up.
Let's talk about it.
I mean, in one of
what are you talking?
In one video I found you said you used to debate atheists.
Dude, I was debating atheists yesterday. People on my channel hated it. So my channel is maybe like 70% religious people and like 30% atheist agnostic. And I was debating with atheists on my channel yesterday, and I lost like 22 subscribers because I was debating atheists, and I shouldn't have done it. So anyway, I was debating.
I do find it interesting that you keep note of exactly how many subscribers you lose.
You do.
I remember a post on
dude, come on, brother.
No, I don't. Not really.
That's why you're playing both sides, is because you're looking at your numbers. I get it.
My numbers are all up right now. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm catering to leftists. I would have made some fucking shit tier excuse for Concord if that was the case. I'm like, it actually wasn't that bad.
If you talked about woke stuff, you'd lose like 1 million subscribers right now. So I get why you can't talk about woke stuff.
Do you actually believe that?
I can prove it, dude.
You can prove it, bro.
Prove us wrong and make an alt-right video tomorrow, and I promise you'll.
Why would he? He doesn't believe that shit.
A video about something I don't actually think or believe.
Yeah, like.
Okay, so you.
Dude, you want me to start grifting?
Dude, earlier you were
acknowledging that gives it up. Like that gives up exactly where his beliefs are at and how much he follows. Like, that's crazy. Just being like, oh, just put out an alt-right video. Like, what? Fucking what? Just put out something you don't believe in, dude. Like, well, we'll see how many subscribers you lose. Like, completely fucking unserious. Completely fucking unserious.
For
you know what?
LGBT stuff and all.
I get why this, because he wants to talk about the hard stuff, but I get why on his channel, it's good that Axeman had this recorded. Smart, good on ya. I get why Andypants fucking turned off comments and then deleted it.
All the games now.
Not all the games, not all of them.
Not all the games, but
Helldivers 2. I mean, that was a pretty fucking masculine game. You're talking about new. Well, I guess. You're talking about new characters. I guess Helldivers wasn't a new franchise, but if we're going back to that example. Sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying?
Hang on, dude. And by the way, you never answered this question. I just want to get it on tape. You saying that women, the attractiveness of women in games now compared to 10 years ago has not gone down. Female attractiveness has not gone down in quality in video games.
What a fucking weird thing to think about.
Oh, you're giving me a script now?
No, I'm not giving you a script. I'm just asking.
You just told me you want me to say that on tape.
No, look, whatever.
Come on, bro. Come on, man.
Look, it is simply a question.
That wasn't a question. You said, I want to get this on tape. Can you say this?
Do you agree or disagree that female attractiveness has gone down the past 10 years in video games?
How do you quantify that?
Dude, you know it's true, man. You know women look like garbage in games.
I mean, if I were to look at like recent video game releases, I'm sure there will be a mix. I think.
Like, why are you?
Well, here's the thing. Here's that. You remember that Overwatch diversity chart that leaked?
Yeah.
So stuff like that, stuff that is tangible. I cover stuff like that. It's not like, oh, this female character doesn't have the rockin' double D boobs. Wokeness? Woke? I don't make shit like that, okay? But when it's something tangible, when it's like an internal document at Blizzard that shows that they're grading their characters based on a set of diversity charts and numbers, yeah, I'll cover that because that's fucking insane. That's actually something for me to point at and say, wow, this is like a really bad mindset to make video games with instead of like some creative inspiration where now we're tokenizing everybody and giving them a score, a diversity score.
Dude, careful.
Yeah, I'm gonna piss off the leftists. I'm gonna.
You feel like you're going alt right now. I love that.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ. First off, that is a leftist position to have. Like that is the normal position to have. That like it shouldn't just be shoved in willy-nilly because guess what? That cheapens it. It makes it inauthentic. You stop speaking to people's experiences and you start crafting caricatures. Like what they're saying, it's another one of these things where they can't like separate the idea of corporate capitalism, which Actman said at the beginning. He talked about how corporations will do this. That's one thing corporations do. Like those kind of internal documents are crafted, are mandated by the company, by the marketing team, by the board of directors looking to get their stocks up. It is crafted for a bottom line. That's why they're mandated. That's why they become selling points internally. Alongside, like, oh, this now we have 16-player multiplayer and this, that, and the other, and we'll show on a slideshow we're more diverse than ever, and we've consulted with these LGBTQ things. It is corporate tokenization. It is not dynamic. This idea that what he's saying is like a far-right position, it's not a good way to approach the argument because A, it's not. B, it cheapens what the far right people actually believe about the subject. Because they might say, and everybody's heard it 1,000 times, they might fucking say that like, oh, I don't mind black people in games. I just want them to be well written. I don't mind women in games. They just need to be written believably. It just needs to be this. But it's bullshit because every time one is well written, be it a black person, a queer person, whatever, they just look at it and go, oh, it's woke trash. Like, they are being disingenuous at the framing of their argument. So entertaining this idea of like, oh no, we should probably just not like make every game extremely black and queer, because guess what? It becomes disingenuous very quickly. Even if it is at some level like well-intentioned, it's still empty, right? No, exactly. Steph is pretty. That's a great way to put it. The left is so demonized that normies have no idea that they agree with the left. Like, outside of saying the R slur, which sucks, Axeman has kind of been like he's almost been entirely like I outside of that bullshit, there's not a lot I disagree with from what he's saying. Like, a lot of the things are like kind of the positions that I have. Like, they're completely normal, rational things. Well, I think Dark Excalibur 42, the left is extremely bad at branding and communicating outside of itself. I think it's a mix of that and the right wing is not on purpose, but they are good at branding due to their ability to be like just kind of oversimplify things and sell their narrative in as simple a way as possible, right? And this kind of argument around wokeness is a perfect example of that.
When are we getting into the final solution? When are we gonna get rid of them all?
Wait,
God damn!
No, the gays. The gays.
Kill all the. Well, they want to get rid of all the white men.
Can we just skip
What
the bullshit
the
and
fuck
just go
are
back
you-
to the
what?
final solution? I mean,
They're talking about killing all the.
They're talking about killing. See, no, he has that fucking like God, he just has that random conservative brain where, like, again, somebody might have said something radical once somewhere, probably as a joke, and he's like, oh, this is what all liberals and leftists believe. It's like, again, think through the argument you're making, how it can be reflected onto you. That's something that Andy is not good at. You make more videos like Synthetic Man. I love that video. I don't know, dude. I don't know. That video was hard to do. Like, that is rough. Rough business. Like those deep dive videos are very. I mean, I made the Matt Walsh videos. Those are both like synth. If you like the synth video, go check out the Matt Walsh one. Is my advice. It's. Yeah, Isaiah Wilson. I thought you shared the GoFundMe link earlier. Go for it. Yeah, I really did not like. It was very dark. Were you trolling when you said you used to be like Synthetic Man, or were you serious? I mean, like, in the ways I described in the video, like there was a point where I was fucking depressed, did nothing, cared about nothing but played video games, was lazy. I mean, like, the laziness was caused by depression. It's what I was talking about at the beginning. Like, in terms of beliefs, no. I've never, you'll not find me being that person who's like, oh yeah, I had a Nazi phase. I was like, nah. Even when because I'd go, it wasn't a Nazi phase. And I need to clarify that, because there was a phase right out of high school where I got really into like gonzo art. And for those who don't know, it's a lot of art that is like very purposefully in bad taste, and that can mean offensive humor. That can mean a great example are trauma movies like Sergeant Kabuki Man, Toxic Avenger, Nukem High, like stuff like that, where it is all what's the other one? Poultrygeist got me started on this kick, actually. And they're all these just fucking weird, gross, disgusting movies made in purposely bad taste. It's where Peter Jackson, got to start with movies like Bad Taste. And that blended in with my love of horror. I loved grindhouse movies like Rob Zombie and stuff. And so, like, that led to me seeking out a lot of oh no, same. Yeah, Dave Wilson. Oh, I used to watch those, but to be honest, I was just looking for boobs. Like, yeah. I mean, hey, when I was 16, 17, 18, yes, absolutely. That led to, when I got internet access, like, looking up, like, hey, what are the most fucked up video games? Because I loved, like, from a young age, I loved Mortal Kombat, Doom, like, I'm not as much of a gore hound now, but, like, Dead Rising. I love Dead Rising. And so, like those, I was like, what are like the really fucked up violent games? And that led me down paths of, like, looking up what are the most controversial games, and they're not good. Like they're not fucking good. Yeah, and that some of the lists on those had, like, God, what was the name of it? It was a really dog shit, like, 3D shooter in the early 2000s. It was a PC freeware game from white nationalists. Ethnic Cleansing, I think, is the name. Custer's Revenge. Custer's Revenge is on there. A game called Rayplay, which draw your own conclusions. And I never ended up playing any of these. I think I tried Custer's Revenge when I was downloading emulators, because, it's like a 2 kilobit file or whatever the fuck. Yeah, no, Dale Wilson, you know, Ethnic Cleansing. Ethnic Cleansing is fucking, like, it's like baby's first video game. Ale, thank you very much for $5. I am now, as of today, a career feed. Fear me and the mail I deliver. Also having fun with Deadlock. Also, PO is a lot more right-wing than I thought. Yeah, honestly, that doesn't surprise. Manhunt, no. Like to tell you how edgy and violent these games are that I'm talking about, and mostly they're not even like violent edgy. They're mostly like either sexual assault edgy or extreme racism edgy. But like, yeah, fucking Manhunt doesn't even rank on there. Like, really. You know, I like Manhunt. I played Manhunt as a kid too. Not as a kid, but more late teen. But yeah, I like Manhunt. I like Manhunt 2 less. And I've played through half of Manhunt 2 multiple times. I played it on every platform too. I have it on Vita. I have it on I had it on Wii, and I had it on PS2. Moss TM, thank you very much for tier 1. God, did I ever play Sneak King? Yeah, because I'm a real gamer. I got that game. I was actually probably in the first 10 games I got for my Xbox 360 at the time. Yes, Dale Wilson, that is correct. Guy Game is banned because one of the girls was actually underage. That is true. That there was a big well, Guy Game was barely a fucking game to begin with. Like, it was a what Guy Game essentially was as a video game was one of those, like, in the early 2000s, they sold like these DVD games, like DVD party games that were essentially like Jackbox, and they would be like, you know, trivia, like whatever. And that's basically what it was. Like, it was just like a fucking FMV trivia game. It was dog shit. And then it came to light later that one of that was the controversy around it, and so it got banned, which is why there was a controversy earlier. Was it this year or last year? That somebody at a con was selling a copy. And no, King Kerplunk, I didn't mean that Guy Game I was like Jackbox. I meant that those other, like, the DVD games that came out in the early 2000s. Yeah, I think it was at SDCC, and there was a thing because people were like, yo, you can't because they were selling it for a high cost because it's fucking rare. But like you can't be selling that at SDCC, and I think they ended up taking it off because like honestly, if you're just like, I would think that most like game resellers and most people who work in that area should know better, but maybe they don't. Did they know why it was rare? I mean, like, at a certain point, it's rare because it's hard to find. It's an old PS2 game. Like, it doesn't matter if it's good or not. Like, there are bad games, like terrible games. Let me show y'all. What's Clock Tower 2 going for on eBay? $900. $200. Let's go. Clock Tower 2, Struggle Within. Yep, there we go. $265, and that's a Japanese copy. Oh no, these are the Japanese copies. There we go. NTSC 265, 880, 499, 429, 384, 880 graded, 900 graded. Terrible, like unplayably dog shit game. Clock Tower 2 is fucking god awful video game. Rare. Oh shit! Knock something off my table. Like that's the way it go. Survival horror fans don't fuck around. Like, God, what's Clock Tower 3 up to? Because I still have my copy of Clock Tower 3. 88. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not nearly as bad. It's creeping up there. I got it when it was like $30. Let's do Rule of Rose. Yeah. Damn, Rule of Rose. Some of these took a dive. Case. Oh, that's the case. Okay. Complete. Yeah, all right. Complete is that seems right. Dale Wilson, you don't know Clock Tower 3, the Magical Girl game? The Magical Girl game directed by the director of the movie Battle Royale? What was the other? Clock Tower, Haunting Ground is another one. Rule of Rose is more expensive than Haunting Ground, but then there's Kuon. Yeah, Haunting Ground is like half the price of Rule of Rose. And then there's Kuon, which is one that I've always wanted to really fucking play. Kuon was From Software's psych horror game in 2004. And this is what it's going for now. Like $900, $600, $1,000. Another, I wonder what Echo Night Beyond is going for. I had Echo Night Beyond as a cool fucking game. Yeah, 290. Fuck. God damn it. I had it and returned it because I was poor at the time. I got it for like $40. Ugh. Yeah, I miss my physical game collection, y'all. I had a hell of a PS2 collection once upon a time. And it's slowly dwindled. It's okay, is what it is.
White man, so
no, but I'm talking you and me. Like, how are we gonna start the great.
Oh, how are we going to survive it when they come for the
No. How are we going to kill them all?
Oh fuck.
Who are we talking about?
The gays.
Nobody's killing any gays. Gays are celebrated everywhere. Every single corporation will pat you on the back and give you 20 promotions if you're gay and trans, and
so like
die from getting patted on the back for being gay right now. All right, dude. Well, I'm gonna wind the video down here, but I did want to ask you one last final question that's not edgy at all that I am curious about.
Sure. I mean, like if you still want to have like a real conversation, but if you want to just shoot blanks at me, I'm down to deflect each and every one.
I, like you, am a huge, and you might have talked about this in one of your videos, but I didn't see it. I, like you, am a huge Halo fan. What is the best Halo multiplayer game?
I would say 3. 3 is probably my choice. See, this is what we should be talking about. We should be talking about like video games that we love, and not just like how every franchise we love is dead, dying. It's all because of the gays and shit like that. Like there's like some truth to agendas being pushed in video games, obviously, but it's not like a direction that I base my entire identity and channel around. Okay, I mean, you have passion for video games clearly, and I hope you chase that passion and the things you love about gaming instead of just because I've been there, man. I know this is a bit of a tangent, but you know, I've been there. I used to make Halo 5 bad videos, and I made quite a few of them. You know. And then at a certain point early in my career, I was like, I don't just want to be talking about what I don't like about video games or what I hate or what's pissing me off all the time. I want, you know.
Dude, well, yeah, I had that.
But what do you think, Halo 3 or?
I think,
dude, I actually really like Halo 5 multiplayer, just because I thought it was the tightest and like, I thought it was like the tightest and the most competitive, and it made me rage the most. But like, also like Halo 3 multiplayer is very, very good, and like I totally understand where you're coming from. What do you think went wrong with Halo Master Chief Collection?
You know what? That's a really good question. Like, how did they? I think they were probably locked into the deadline of releasing it on the 10-year anniversary of Halo 2.
What the fuck is this, like, friendly
and they didn't have all the pieces together, but they were like,
into the mic.
It's the 10-year anniversary. Fuck it. It's like it's got to go.
Yeah,
it's got to launch. But no, Halo 5 is a respectable opinion. It is respectable, because there's a lot of good mechanics about that game and a lot of good aspects of it, and I can totally get why it kind of kept the competitive scene alive. Halo 5 did, because after Reach and 4, it was in pretty dire straits. So retrospectively, looking back on Halo 5, like, yeah, you know, in the ways it pushed for the competitive scene were probably good.
Yeah, dude,
but it came at the cost of casual matches a bit. But
yeah, dude, what is going on with Xbox right now, man? Like, why is Xbox?
You got the Xbox channel, bro. You tell me.
Yeah, I fucking hate this.
Dude, I have like turned my back on Xbox because it's such trash now. But like, dude, because I saw you talking to Marty the other. I mean, I know he doesn't work at Xbox. I know he's a Bungie guy. And that was a cool interview I enjoyed. But like, what is even going on with
He's a woke leftist too. Did you know that? He's secretly a super woke leftist.
No, he's
Marty.
not. Dude, he's
he is.
Dude, he was a Republican. Dude, he's hardcore conservative.
No. It's all front.
Yeah, right.
See, because I only pander and talk with hardcore leftists.
Okay, I see.
That's the only people I associate with.
Yeah.
No, Marty's great. I mean, I feel like sometimes the way he handles things on social media, you know, maybe not the best, but I'm not like he's a fucking adult. You know, I'm not gonna tell him how he should manage his online persona.
Right.
I know that some people in the Halo community used to look at him very fondly, and some people have felt disillusioned with him in some ways. And that's kind of what politics can do with an audience, because I built my audience on gaming and like defending the hobby from, like I said, bad faith critique of it, and that comes from all directions. So I don't pull punches,
dude. Why can't Xbox get like a good game out right now? Like, I mean,
this is the shit I would love to talk with you about, like the important gaming stuff, you know?
No, I am really curious. Why do you think Xbox like cannot get a good game out, like as an exclusive? I mean, I know exclusives are going away, but like, why can't Xbox get a good game out?
That's also a very good question. I think there's some truth to the statement, the way that I've thought about it, and the phrase that's been told to me from people that have worked at Microsoft and various game studios under them is that Microsoft is a software company. They develop software. They do not develop entertainment.
Right.
And if you go into creating entertainment with the same mindset you have of developing software, it's not always the right direction. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think there's something there.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to that. And when you look at Xbox and they're buying a lot of
I don't know.
studios
I
and
hate
Activision
like
Blizzard, and they're acquiring
fucking
all these intellectual
Andypants
properties.
was talking a big game, and then now he's just like,
when it's art. Video games are art, they're entertainment, they're experiences. It's not a function. You know, obviously, like video games rely on software and all that, but it's yeah, that's basically how I feel about it. To sum it up generally, that's why Xbox is kind of like keeps missing the mark. But I mean, Gears of War E-Day, hey, that's another one. Gears of War E-Day, super fucking masculine, man. Hell yeah. Did you see the Gears of War video I made, brother?
Dude, the trailer was masculine, but like the game might just be girl boss. We'll see. But okay, the only way that theory doesn't hold up though is look at Gears of War and look at Halo, and look. I'm talking about like 2006 Xbox. Like they were able to get bangers out during the 360 era. So it's like, is it just? I mean, they're spending a lot of money, So, but it's like, dude, why can't they?
Again, you're so
that
fucking
they were producing in the 360?
Oh my god, you're so fucking close to getting it. Like the actual problems with the industry. He like. How can you tie those two things together? Like wokeness in the game industry and the amount of time that games take to develop now? Like, do you think in your head, do you think that Gears of War and Halo games take so long to develop now because they need to like put more woke in them? No. It's because of constantly escalating standards for graphics, for content that need to be in the game. Everything needs to have a fucking battle royale. Everything needs to have a fucking battle pass. Everything needs to have free-to-play multiplayer. A bunch of skins. A bunch of fucking Fortnite-ified collaboration skins and all this shit. Like, it's so fucking disheartening. Like, it's just, you're so close to getting it on your own, but you're blocking your own goddamn vision.
Sierra.
Because my theory is that they did not take care of the people who are in charge of those.
Here's the thing, Neom. I honestly respect that the Act Man doesn't attack minorities, even though he isn't a fan of lefties like us. I think he's more of a fan of lefties like us than he realizes. Like, again, outside of using slurs and what he fucking said about Marty, like he's been nothing but reasonable in his assertions about like wokeness. Like he's been completely rational. And that's not me being a centrist, that's him like having a metered leftist position. Yeah, and Danger Days, I said, aside from the slurs, which like that's that centrist bullshit. That's that, so I said this in middle school, so it's okay bullshit.
Successful IPs. They did not take care of the brain children, like, you know, the phrase brainchild. They didn't take care of the creative visionaries behind a lot of those IPs.
Like Cliffy B.
Yeah, Cliffy B. You know, people at Bungie, even going so far back as maybe even Rareware when they bought Rareware. Like,
oh yeah,
I mean, Live and Reloaded is great. Conquer Live and Reloaded, but like, where the fuck is another Conquer game? Like,
yeah, dude, like what happened to Rare? Like, what did they make Sea of Thieves now? It's like they had like 10 amazing IPs and they did nothing with them.
Oh, you cut out for a second.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just saying they had like 10 amazing IPs and they did nothing. They're doing nothing with them now, you know?
See, I hate this like bro chat shit that he's trying to do.
Right, dude. Well, thank you for letting me roast you. And dude,
look, man, you did a really bad job of it. I'm gonna be straight up. And
like God,
props
what
to
a
you for coming on, and it takes some balls to come on here and let me like interview you and roast you, and respect, dude. I really.
What the fuck? What a disingenuous little fucking snake. Like, being all buddy then being like, hey, thanks for letting me come on here and roast you. And Ackman's like, what? Dude, what? And then he's like, yeah, no, it takes balls to really come on here and let me roast you and interview you. It's like, dude, you got fucking leashed and walked to the fucking dog park. You got whipped. What the fuck are you playing this off as? Kevin, thank you very much for subscribing. That's crazy work. That's crazy work.
It.
Ooh,
next time, come up with better roasts, and don't just copy comments or copy insults from your comment section. I think deep down you're actually a smart guy, and you're capable of. There's a lot to roast me on. I mean,
yeah,
you know.
All right, I'll work on that. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
The cope is fucking real. All right, give me a sec. Whoa, wow, whoa, oh no, stop.
Oh no! I'm gonna play Ral Zarek, the old Ral Zarek.
Yeah, that was scary. That's the original Ral, not the otter one.
Come on, stop it.
I mean, Ral was always an otter.
Is otter a sex thing? I'm just like, is that a sexual innuendo thing?
It's like bear.
It's like a bear. I know what bear. I don't know what twink means, but I do know what bear means.
Okay, let's what else do we got going on? Oh, right. No, we need to. Okay, yep. I still have a little bit left in me, chat. Yeah, Marty, not Marty Stratton. That's a different person entirely. Marty O'Donnell, is the Halo music man, and he is just a huge conservative piece of shit. Ugh. Well, Danger Days, I think he's placating him in more of a way of like, dude, I know you're not this fucking stupid. Like, stop playing up to your audience. I don't think he means that he's like actually like really, really intelligent. But like I can't like he knows what he's fucking doing. He knows the place whether he's accepted it or not, Andypants knows the fucking place it takes in the gaming ecosystem. And if he were to make a video being like, hey, I was wrong about this, he would lose half of his fucking subscribers overnight. Because they would be like, oh, I thought you were based. They don't care about him for who he is. They don't care about him for his personality. They care about him because he is a mirror for the things they already believed. That they can go and get their daily dose of hating shit and being like, oh yeah, games are gay, games are woke. And have that confirmation just spat back at them. With no facts, 100% confirmation bias. We've talked about this before. You know this. What was I? Oh yeah, Dragon Age. I know nothing about Dragon Age, so this is gonna be fun for me. People are, oh god, here we go. Pre-orders are, god, I fucking loathe her. Yeah, let's do Dragon Age woke. That'll yep, there we go. There we go. Look at that. Look at that change in the algorithm. Gets destroyed after revealing. And Demeon is so fucking unserious, bro. I can't. Sorry, when I'm like tired, I get like weirdly bro-y. Like, and Demeon. And Demeon is so fucking funny. Woke cultists demand Dragon Age embrace. What? All right, I gotta see. Like, dude, this is hashtag Sweet Baby Inc. He's so fucking goofy, bro. Like, he's so fucking goofy. All right, let's get in this. Let's see what the latest dope is on Dragon Age.
Every day when I walk my dogs, I gotta say that when I saw the previews for Veilguard, I was not exactly enthused. But now things have gone from worse to, oh my god, this may just kill BioWare very quickly. So let me, a old, jaded BioWare fan, walk you through what is happening, and then we'll talk Concord afterwards. Which, according to new leaks, is far more of a disaster than we originally anticipated. Like, it's so bad, you gotta see it to believe it. Firstly, Dragon Age had a bunch of previews go live recently, pretty much across the board. Every single news outlet has been praising the game, calling it the next big thing, and even places like Games Radar had articles like this that said, early Dragon Age the Veilguard impressions call it a comeback for BioWare, a definite Game of the Year contender, and the series Mass Effect 2 moment. That last part there, that holds a lot of weight. And that shouldn't be thrown around willy-nilly in my opinion, because calling anything your Mass Effect 2 moment now, that really needs to deliver on all fronts to justify that. Because I don't know about you guys, but I consider Mass Effect 2 to be one of the best games ever made, hands down. God damn, I love that game. Games Radar's own preview said the game was, in their own words, I've come to believe that yes, I can and will happily play the latest and greatest Dragon Age for another 10 years if necessary. The story, as much as I've seen, is just as epic and devastating, the companions are compelling, and it's mechanically much more expansive in some ways while tighter in others. PC Gamer said in their preview about Veilguard, it isn't built on the multiplayer trend chasing that plagued Anthem, and from the 6 hours I got to play during a hands-on preview event this month, Veilguard didn't seem to be the buggy mess that Mass Effect Andromeda was either. It has all sorts of features that prove BioWare was listening to its players, and critically, it's BioWare doing what it's meant to be best at. Gorgeous, intense, intimate RPGs. I'll read just some of what Eurogamer said in their article, where they did claim that Veilguard is indeed what they believe to be Dragon Age's Mass Effect 2 moment. Eurogamer said, and I quote, "There's a BioWare game I keep coming back to when I think about the several hours I spent playing Dragon Age the Veilguard, and it's probably not the game you're expecting me to say. It's not Inquisition, and it's not Origins or Dragon Age 2 as if I'd have the stones to say that. It's a game from another series the studio is probably better known for, and it's arguably the studio's best, Mass Effect 2. Just as Mass Effect 2 streamlined the elbowy role-playing of Mass Effect 1, honing it into a pacier cinematic action game, game, so does Veilguard do this for Dragon Age. There are no pretensions at being an open world game as an Inquisition anymore. The Veilguard is a narrower, mission-based game, a phrase I heard a few times over the course of the day, and because of it, the pace never sags. Whatever you do, there's a feeling of purpose and shape. Missions crescendo to spectacular boss fights, and the combat encounters that lead to them feel considered and satisfying. Traversal sections are varied with puzzles and zip wires and slides and balanced beams. There's never any dead time, always there's momentum, and at its best, it's a breathlessly exciting ride. To me, it screams confidence, something the Dragon Age team seems to have lacked in the past. This is a series that's grappled with its identity ever since it began, and that's changed hugely from one installment to the next, pulled this way and that by the demands of the time. But here we are with a beautifully baggage-less single-player RPG, and a sense that behind it, BioWare is doing what it believes it is best at. And okay, yes, it's notable that lines between Dragon Age and Mass Effect are blurring, whereas before, the teams and games felt distinct, but there's no denying the resulting effect. The Veilguard is good. It's very good. Regardless, I'm elated to see BioWare in this kind of form again. As a cinematic action game, the Veilguard roars with quality. And as a role-playing game, it provides a welcome refreshment to the density of Baldur's Gate 3,
the whole fucking article.
God, I hate this. Though perhaps it would be better considered a compliment too. Based on what I've played, I've absolutely no doubt.
When I was just talking, like, this isn't content. 27 minutes of just reading somebody, like, I read articles when we're doing a stream, right? I will read articles on the issue I'm talking about. Like I just edited the stream highlights from the Laura Loomer stream. And that's mostly me reading articles, giving my summation on it, tying it into other things, but I'm still tying it into other things. I'm not reading the whole fucking article. I'm picking the thing I want, and I try and set it up like a video. Like, there's stuff in between it. I'm using this to strengthen my point. This is the same thing as the quartering, where it's just, sorry, I bumped the mic. Okay, here we go. Geeks and Gamers. Oh, fuck. It's a short. I want to do a short. Veilguard review. It's woke trash. A modern story. Oh, look at this dude's hair. IGN ratioed after shilling for Dragon Age Veilguard. IGN ratioed. What are you, 10? Gets destroyed. Everyone hates this. Ryan Kill. I'm tired of woke games. Worse than Concord. Like, again, if you want to see the outrage merchant machine in the works, Yellow Flash, great example. All of those and what's his fuck was just talking about the reviews, they were overwhelmingly pretty positive. Says game is queer 3 months ago. It's shocking. All right, let's go. Yeah, let's do Vera Dark. Vera Dark is a sad sack.
Dragon Age The Veilguard is the new next big game on the block that the mainstream media is trying their very best to shill for. And over the past couple of days, we've gotten some very questionable information about the character creator having options like top surgery scars. And now IGN is highlighting how, quote, amazing the character creator is by showing off the ugliest models possible, and they are being brutally ratioed over it. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or...
I'm sorry. Is King Kerplunk, thank you. Good night. Is her evidence for IGN pushing the trans agenda, they showed off how diverse a character creator was by making goofy looking characters? How many games have we seen come and go with videos all about the character creator, showing off the weird celebrities you can remake, the weird characters you can put in, from Dark Souls, just the Souls series in general, to anything by fucking Bethesda? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Brainrot.
YouTube memberships. Now, BioWare has a lot riding on this game's success. They have had several failures over the past couple of years, like Mass Effect Andromeda, and of course, Anthem. So they need to make something good here. And there were a lot of people who were initially pretty excited for the Veilguard until we've seen all of the previews, all of the clips, all of the interviews and pieces of information they've released, and they've basically admitted that this is filled with identity politics. And over the past 2 days, we have gotten the character creator. The media has really been showing this off in depth. We've seen a ton of clips online, and it's basically just mental illness, the character creator. There are a lot of unnecessary options and options that people are not going to use, and they have shoved them in for the 0.1% of people who might actually care about them or want them, because
mental illness is so cute because she's going to talk about like vitiglio or vitiligo. Sorry, yeah, it's one I need to relearn how to pronounce. Vitiligo. That's crazy. Just saying it's like, it's basically mental illness is so fucking wild. For top surgery scars, like, dude, wait until you find out what...
features like top surgery scars. There's tons of random sliders and toggles here that people are roasting. And of course, the mainstream media is trying their very best to promote this. IGN even made a post saying the character creator in the Veilguard is amazing, and they're showing off the ugliest characters known to freaking man. Now, we knew that this was probably going to have some questionable content in it, given a lot of the people behind this project. We know that companies like BioWare are filled to the brim with activists who don't particularly care about making amazing games. They simply care about pushing their political beliefs into content. They feel like they need to win the culture war, and so we end up with content that looks like
war
this.
Is a term
and
the
a lot
right
of people
wing
are kind of disappointed. Now, as you can see through this, they highlight just some ugly character models. Look at this Canary. She, whatever they're going for here, they look terrible. People are saying that he looks like a handsome Squidward, but he has no redeeming factor. And you know, some of these
no redeeming factor. God, this is so the content is so dog shit. It's like, yeah, Timonic, you're seeing it, right? Like it's just boring. Like you're just listening to somebody ramble, and you can see how in the like middle of the video, you're like, you can see how bad their arguments are and how they're just trying to literally wring every last little fucking drop. Like really just get all the blood from the stone that they can.
That they're showing off like this. I don't think that this looks terrible. I think it looks okay. I think a lot of the hairstyles look pretty fucking bad, at least in my opinion. But you also have just some very questionable visuals here like this. Her hairstyle is literally clipping through her eyebrow. This is supposed to be the next AAA video game release, and her bangs are clipping through her skin. Also,
it's because they raise the eyebrows super high and they have a high brow ridge. Like, why do people, how many, I'm gonna, 119,000 subscribers, 119,000 people subscribe to watch this level of analysis, and then they go and parrot it online and think they have a point. What the fuck? What the fuck?
On her, you know, modern day Hollywood woman cheekbones, it just does not look good. If I was an average consumer who was watching these previews go down...
It's very funny. It's very funny. I don't know if anybody's seen, but when the Perfect Dark thing came out, of course, I almost called her Joanna. Vera here was talking about how she has the woke jaw, and then a lot of people just pointed out that she just has the same jaw. Basically, she has the exact same, like, strong jawline. I think she stopped criticizing it after that. Like, honestly. Let's go. I'm gonna go get more juice.
I would be like, this is terrible. Then you see options like bulge size, vitiligo, heterochromia, asymmetrical ears. We do also, again, know that they are adding things like top surgery scars, and my stance will always be for players, right? Giving them options,
not really.
So I'm not asking for these to be removed or anything,
then
but I'm still going to sit here and say a lot of this is fucking stupid. Like top surgery scars. Instead of having a toggle for this, they simply should have added a customization system where you could add a scar wherever you wanted. It puts it on the character model, you can rotate it, you can stretch it, you can have it be a different color, and then players could have simply added scars in whichever fashion they wanted. And if you wanted to add a scar that looked like that, you could have. The only reason why you wouldn't do that and why you'd add a surgery scar toggle is because of identity politics, because these activists don't care about giving us options. They simply care about pushing these certain narratives narratives into the content that they're creating. This was their focus. It's mental illness, the character creator. And we know that this also features things like pronouns, and I think having pronouns is dumb. Just have a male or female option, and then customization option so you can make your character look however you want. You know, I think that a lot of this is disappointing, though. Just identity politics aside, I think the height options are disappointing.
It's just buzzword salad. It's just like wokeness, identity politics, id poll, pronouns. Like, it's... God, if we had a bingo sheet, it would be filled out by now. Can we get some pronouns in the chat? She thinks it's dumb to have pronouns. What's the meme? It came free with speaking a fucking language, ding dong.
Okay, there are chest and butt sliders, but they don't change. You go from small to concave. You can't go from small to mega. You cannot do that. So the options that a lot of people are going to be using, the majority of people are going to be using, are mediocre compared to these other options that the 0.1% of people may actually use. If you are going to preach about giving players options and you're going to go out of your way to add things like top scars, I should be able to make my female character have the proportions of Bayonetta, E from Stellar Blade, or original Lara Croft. That should not be a problem. And here...
Do you think it's not? Do you think what... I should be able to give my character big tits and hips? Do you think you can't? In a character creator this advanced? What? Like, seriously.
I'm not seeing any, you know, super feminine characters, and then the male characters just look like Giga Chads who got punched in the face. They do not look good at all.
It's because they're showing off the goofy things you can do. It's an IGN fucking video. They wanted to show off the variety, the possibilities of the character creator. This isn't an official thing. You fucking weird dork.
Whatsoever. I could not be more disappointed with what I have seen so far. Again, look at something like this with the clipping through the eyebrow. This is a AAA video game. They probably spent $200 million to develop this game, and this is the best that you could come up with. Maybe you shouldn't be worrying so much about identity politics and instead be worrying about creating good content that will sell copies of a game. But I also can't help but point and laugh at the media like IGN, who's highlighting all of this, going, oh my god, it's so stunning and brave, and everybody else is laughing too. It's got 3K likes to 3.5K dislikes. Every Dragon Age character is handsome Squidward but with horns. Proceeds to show the ugliest character designs imaginable. I do not know why it is so hard to have good-looking character models. Look at something like Black Desert Online. That game came out over a decade ago, and it's still, to this day, in my opinion, has the best character customization system I have seen. You can have Eves. You can have big-chested, amazing waifus. You can have flat Frannies if you want. You can have Giga Chads. You can have Soy Boys. You can have any type of character design you want, but they all still look, to a certain extent, visually appealing, unless you're going out of your way and you're giving them like green ogre skin and you're trying to mess up their jawline, things like that. But the majority of characters still look freaking amazing, but the possibilities with that game are endless, and there is not a title that has released today that has, in my opinion, a character creation system that is that fucking good. I don't know why it's so hard for these companies to make something half decent, but instead we get things like this because none of the people in these giant companies like BioWare's are good at their jobs. They suck, and they are giving us mediocre content over and over and over. And this is why so many people are upset with the state of the mainstream industry. And instead of trying to defend gamers and saying, oh, hey, people are upset with the way this system is and seems so far, they're voicing how unhappy they are.
Okay, that's enough of you. Won't somebody think of the gamers? Please think of the gamers. All right, who else do we got? Conquered is a woke steaming pile of shit. Mega flop. Okay, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Horribly woke. Woke romance is sad. Oh, you know what? No. Oh, god damn it. I want to go. No, let's go back. Yeah. 4.1K views 2 months ago. Let's go. We got an up-and-comer in the grift space. We got somebody who's still hitting his stride.
Dragon Age Veilguard, the super woke end of Dragon Age.
Dragon Age the Veilguard is one of my most anticipated games for this year, and in today's video,
sad,
we have a ton of big news to talk about. We have new...
Oh, this sucks. This is... Whoa. 4.1K views for a reaction to somebody else's content, and like with no editing, and that mic quality. Custom characters with a glass of Chardonnay, probably. Thank you, Irish DC, for 100 biddies. All right, that's not quite what I wanted. Oh, hey, that's me. Yeah, okay, let's go to Hypnotic. Thank you, Replicant Diego, for following. No, he did, like, there was no introduction there. It was just, like, going right into it.
So the rumor mill is running full swing when it comes to the gaming industry right now. There's a lot of projects that are about to release that are extremely controversial. You have Assassin's Creed Shadows being one of them. Star Wars Outlaws that just recently released and flopped. And now you have Dragon Age the Veilguard. Yes, Dragon Age the Veilguard, the game that doesn't look like the Dragon Age game. The game that just looks like a fucking Fortnite version of what used to be Dragon Age. Apparently, there is a new rumor coming out that the retail pre-order...
What the fuck do you mean? Fortnite? I don't even... Fortnite? What? I don't even get that.
Are completely and utterly piss poor with some evidence to back it up.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
Is there Peter Griffin? Hey, with modders, all is possible.
Now, again, guys, in terms of me, Dragon Age the Veilguard is going to be the first Dragon Age game that I'm going to be skipping. I am subscribed to EA, Plus, whatever the hell it's called, and they give you the game for free. I don't know if you guys realize that.
Well, first off, they don't give you the game for free. You have to pay for EA Plus. Second off, sure you will. Let's put a counter on Hypnotic. He says 3 days ago he's going to be skipping it. How much do we want to bet? How much do we want to bet, huh? That he'll have a review out. I don't think he's gonna be skipping it. I don't think he can afford that. They need their grifting points. This is big seasons for them to get cashish. This is the grifting season is upon us.
But if you're subscribed to EA, they are giving you Dragon Age Veilguard for free. I can play it if I so choose without actually having to buy the game. But even with that said, unless my fans ask me to do so, I'm not going to play this piece of shit. I absolutely refuse because I can see the writing on the wall. I can see what they're doing to the Qunari. I can see what they're doing to the different races where they're demasculating the Qunari. They're making them look more like soft. Like I don't even know what to even call it. So let's get into this article, guys, from that part place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And like the video. It pushes out into that YouTube algorithm. A new rumor claims that Dragon Age Veilguard retail sales are piss poor. In the wake of a newly released hands-on preview trailer that was panned by gamers. YouTuber Dr. Disaster shared, I have an acquaintance in the retail world, someone who runs 9 stores that sells video games, and I'm hearing that these ratios that we're seeing in damn near every video released for Dragon Age the Veilguard, these ratios are correlating with piss poor pre-sales data. People are not connecting with the Veilguard because Dragon Age games are supposed to be dark and gritty, and this just looks completely soft. Now again, I agree that Dragon Age the Veilguard doesn't look like Dragon Age, right? We've come to expect a certain graphical style, a certain style of the game when it comes to...
I have literally never seen the Dragon Age games as like dark and gritty. Like that's never, to me, that's never been like the thing. Oh, like they've always been dark. Like I've never seen that as somebody from the outside, like just looking at marketing and branding, because I still have never really played it. I have Dragon Age 1 downloaded. I should probably check it out. I hear Morrigan's pretty cool.
Dragon Age video games, and apparently we are going to be completely losing that.
This is Ryson. This is the most chaotic stream of yours I've ever clicked into. It has been a fucking nightmare all night. It's been crazy. It's been like we haven't been able to stream. This is the first time I'll be able to stream on Twitch and YouTube for like several hours, and we've just been watching Brainrot, like anti-woke content. It's been fun. I'm so tired. Yeah, it's been a time for sure.
When it comes to Dragon Age the Veilguard, they have gone the Fortnite route. They have gone the way of making characters look more animated, look more cartoony, look softer, and it's going to throw off a lot of people who are fans of Dragon Age, which is why the Dragon Age Veilguard team keeps constantly telling you that you don't have to play the previous Dragon Age games in order to enjoy this one. They keep saying that because they're trying to get new audiences who feel like, who would otherwise feel like they might be missing out on something by not playing the first initial games, and that's why they keep saying this. Craig, aka Stuttering Craig, who owns and hosts the Side Scrollers podcast, informed that Park Place at his retail source, who previously indicated that pre-order sales for both Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows, pre-orders for Dragon Age the Veilguard are not Astrobot numbers. As of this morning, the deluxe edition of the game was 14th on the PlayStation Store for pre-orders, while the base game was 20th. Now, if we look at this, okay, I want you guys to remember like the conversation we had around Black Myth Wukong, okay? We realized that when it comes to these lists that are on Sony, The top 3 are vastly different from 4 to 6 in terms of numerical value, okay? People are there's way more in this than there is in this, let alone anything below 4 to 6. So the fact that this is where it's at on this list proves that there isn't many people that are super excited to play this game. There just can't be, right? We know that to be a fact from the numbers from Black Myth Wukong, because Black Myth Wukong being number 1, right? What was the other game that was number 6? I forgot what game was number 6, but Concord. Concord was number 6 on the list, okay? So you're thinking to yourself, that's not that bad, right? 1 to 6, Black Myth Wukong being 1, Concord 6, it's still top 10. That's okay. Look at what happened to Concord. Concord died because nobody was playing it. So how is it number 6 on the top 6 list and the game fucking died in 10 days? It proves that there isn't much numbers here to be had, okay? There just isn't. Now, you might say that, okay, sparking zeros here, I'm sure there's a lot of, there's a lot of excitement for that game. Maybe now in this point, maybe, that's pretty high.
Oh, no,
but
I
still,
have,
even if
I
that
have
was the
them
case,
at,
just look at what is that?
at 1.5 times speed. That's why they sound so crazy.
Bro. Okay, more people are excited to play Silent Hill 2 Remake than they are to play Dragon Age Veilguard. That is a massive...
Okay, so, couple problems with that. Veilguard hasn't been up for pre-order as long as Silent Hill 2 has. Silent Hill 2 has been on for several more months than Veilguard. Like, kind of a good metric there. But whatever, let's not let facts or actually studying the industry get in the way of anything.
Fail for an IP like Dragon Age. BioWare is going to take one on the chin with a game like this. But let's continue. Over on Steam, Dragon Age The Veilguard is currently the 42nd most wishlisted game according to SteamDB's upcoming Steam games. It has 59,441 followers. The game sits behind the Forever Winter, Gothic 1 Remake, Mouse PI for Hire, and Arc Raiders. So again, 45th, bro. 42nd, I'm sorry.
Replicant Diego, they have to assume, like, again, they don't understand the arguments of the people they're arguing against. So they have to assume that because they see something as woke, that automatically all leftists have to like it. That you are a gay leftist communist and you love Concord. Concord is your favorite video game because you're a self-hating white person as well, and there's 3 black women, so that assuages your white guilt. That is like the things they unironically believe, because they spend all day in these little echo chambers where all they watch are these shitty channels that just feed them this like regurgitated diarrhea of content. I hope that answers the question.
List. That is bad. It is barely above Dying Light the Beast. It is below Arc Raiders, Carlson, Throne. I mean, these, like, how are these games beating Dragon Age, bro? Dragon Age is such a famous IP.
Again,
and the fact that
because
this is where
it
it's
hasn't
in terms
been
of pre-orders, this is its
up
maximum
for pre-order as
anything
long.
after this is going to be lower. I don't understand how this is even remotely possible. But that's because they're fucking it up. They're trying to make this for the modern audience, and they keep doing this with the modern audience. Just never shows up. As noted by Dr. Disaster's information comes in the wake of a hands-on preview of Dragon Age: The Veilguard.
Yeah, no, famously, modern audience didn't show up for what the fuck, the oh god, do we watch the Jeremy Johns review? No, we do not. Fuck you, Asmund. Horrible. Getting woke. Dragon Age diversity is our strength. What? 5 years ago. Oh man, going full degenerate. Hell yeah, let's go. Let's go. Looks like shit 3 months ago. This was all fucking over Twitter today. I'm not seeing Jeremy Johns did do blackface once. It was interesting. You'll also notice that they kind of come in waves. Like, there's not a lot of people in between. It's kind of rare to see, like, oh, here's one that was 1 month ago, because they all kind of work in lockstep. 3 months ago. When the last stuff from it was shown off, that's when all these videos came out. And then now that there's a new thing, they get to like bump that up, so they're all putting stuff out around the same time. See, 3 months ago. It's just like the woke machine strikes back. 29 views. Oh, 3.5 hours. Fuck you. I think not. DEI. See, that's fucking crazy. How long is this? 4 hours. I'm not sitting around for that for 4 hours. Are you out of your fucking gourd? God. Wonder why you're getting 245 views, Revenant Remnant. But I do want to know what he thinks about why he calls it DEI Rising instead of Dead Rising. DEI Rising. All right, you know what? Actually, let's look up Uno Mas, since we've been playing it all day. Saying woke. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go. Ruins Dead Rising. Capcom, and they have to use a shitty AI image. All right, let me go to let's see most recent. Is the original woke? I mean, like, I talked about it earlier, but like it's a broadly anti-capitalist like text. Bazooka Horse, you bite your fucking tongue. Dead Rising has never sucked. Woke pandering. All right, Dr. Disaster. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. He has a costume. He has a costume. Oh, please. I love ironic, non-ironic.
The original Dead Rising was one of my favorite games for.
And a voice modulator.
I played the.
Let's fucking go.
What's up, Space Pirates? This is your captain, the chronically charismatic Dr. Disaster, and it's always fun to watch one of these video game studios go out of their way to pander to the screeching harpy feminist types and their simp allies and the clueless game journalists, and then fail because of it.
Sheer f***ing hubris.
The original Dead Rising was one of my favorite games for a while there. I played the absolute...
Here's the thing. They didn't really change any of the, like, characters' outfits or anything, and I just rescued all the survivors, but, you can't, like, you just, there's not an erotica category, which I'm kind of a mixed mind about, but ultimately I had to separate my ideas around, like, okay, why would I be of a mixed mind about it? It's because I've spent so long playing the game. Like, I've played so much of it that I'm just used to it as a mechanic. But when you actually look at it and how it plays into the game, it's super fucking weird. It's super fucking weird. It is, like, it's just sexual harassment. Like, the fact that you can just take pictures and ogle women's breasts and ass and get extra points for your photographs, it's very weird. I understand why these people might like it, but it's one of those things I'm like, you know what? It adds nothing to the game by being there. That being said, they did not actually tone down the sexuality of the character models themselves. In fact, I think Jesse's boobs are bigger. Oh yeah, also kind of necrophilia because you can get erotica shots off of zombies, which, like, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
Hell out of it, but I have no interest in the deluxe remaster. I don't need a watered-down version where they censor the risque photos that Frank West could take, or where they censor the dialogue of a Vietnam veteran so that he doesn't...
So that one is a little bit weird. So for those who don't know, in the original, Cliff was a Vietnam vet, and it was made very explicitly clear, who has a break from reality when his grandkid dies. And he's one of the psychopaths you can fight in the game. And that basically triggers a PTSD episode. And you end up putting him down. And he says at the beginning of the fight, voiced by the wonderful Steve Blum, "You're Viet Cong, aren't you? You're nothing but a filthy communist." And in the new version, it's, "You're a rebel, aren't you? You're nothing but a filthy guerrilla," I think, like a guerrilla fighter, or a filthy rebel. Like, it's something like that. It's very, it doesn't flow as well. I kind of wonder. Well, Eris Miseria, thing is, he calls Frank a Viet Cong, which is like Frank is a white man. Yeah, that's the point of the thing. Like, it is that, and it is meant to represent him being so far detached from reality that he doesn't actually understand where he is. Like, that's the point, that when you actually defeat him and he tells you about his backstory, it becomes clear. It's like, oh, okay, he didn't know what he was doing. Like, he just, like, When the chaos of the zombies broke out, he just like his vision went white. He blacked out. He was lost in that PTSD, which is why he's like, you're Viet Cong. Like that ties into that. And it's very weird. It was very weird. Yeah, no, it was absolutely played for tragedy. It's a very effective moment. Like in the new version, like it's still very, the new voice actor does a really good job with the lines. Does a damn good job. Like there's a lot of good voice acting in here. I think Jesse does a good job. I think Frank grew on me. I still like TJ, but he grew on me. And then the only one I really have a problem with is Brad, because it's so different to the Brad voice I know. Like so different. And he doesn't do a terrible job, but he sounds like somebody. I don't know if the VA is black, but he sounds like a white guy trying to do a black voice. Is the way I'm like, what are you people doing here? Like it just has this weirdly hollow cadence to it. Yeah, that too. He sounds too young. Does the zombie virus make people crazy in this universe? No, he was just a veteran with PTSD. And so when like carnage broke out, people were shooting each other, people were dying, it triggered a PTSD episode. That was the point of Cliff's story. So I do feel weird about that, because I think that's a good example of like a change that didn't need to be made, because it doesn't serve the original intent of the piece, right? Like taking away the erotica stuff focuses the photography system a lot more. They didn't really have anything to replace it with. It's kind of a problem. Because all you really have, originally you had horror, brutality, outtake, erotica, and like normal photos, and now you just have the 4, and it's a lot more limited that way. But ultimately, taking it out doesn't affect the scope or the vision or the intent of the game. It just takes something like that was more socially acceptable back in 2007, and that like kind of always felt a little bit gross. Whereas this, I feel, is slightly altering some of the tone and pitch of the thing. So I do have more of a problem with that, I guess.
Say anything bad about communism, or where they felt the need to change the Chinese butcher.
Okay, this one, very necessary. God, what's his name? Paul? Steve? I don't remember. The butcher originally was like, if you couldn't tell by this, a ridiculous yellow panic stereotype. Like even as a kid playing this, I like there was something about how yellow they made his skin. How he basically seemed like an illiterate doofus cannibal. Like it, I am glad they made that change, because like you can do a character like that without playing into some fucking disgusting stereotypes, from the Japanese side of things, because they're hey, there's racial animosity between people in Japan and China, going back. I mean, if you want to be recent, probably going back to World War II, but like hundreds, thousands of years, like not surprising. But that doesn't excuse it at all. And like that is smart change to make. I'm totally fine with that.
Into a white dude, but of course they felt the need to pander to the modern audience.
I'm sorry, I totally forgot he's a dork in a mask. I've been rambling here and I'm tired. I completely forgot. Holy shit. I think it's just Necro. Go away. I mean, like, that sounds like it could fall into, like, monster fucker territory.
I'm not much on speeches, but it's so gratifying to leave you wallowing in the mess you've made. You're screwed. Thank you. Bye.
Well, it looks like that modern audience is hiding again. Despite the massive media blitz that is underway this week for Dead Rising, my timeline is inundated with articles from corporate media types trying desperately to get me interested in this game. But so far, it doesn't look like their efforts are working very well. I just did a...
It's just like a looping GIF. Look at him. It's just like, it's like an FMV. of him just talking in what the fuck?
A comparison of the Steam numbers for Concord 3 days before it launched and compared it to the Steam numbers of Dead Rising Deluxe Remastered, and, well, I'll just say this. If I were Capcom, knowing how much was spent on this game, I wouldn't be very happy right about now. Alright, me hearties, make sure you hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter.
Whoa. 65.9 thousand people. Almost 66,000 people. I don't... Okay.
Where I keep a list of woke and DEI infected games pinned to my account at all times for your reference. My handle on the platform is Dr. Disaster 1. In any case, let's talk about this Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster and the Steam numbers. It really annoys me when these companies take established IPs like Dead Rising and inject their own bullshit views into it. The various censorship that we have heard about with this game is enough to convince me that the developers did not have me in mind when they made it. Gamers like me, those of us who want to simply be entertained by video games after a long day at work. People like me
yeah, okay, we're getting gaming as an escapism. Let's go.
Audience.
Let's go.
In other words, they're embracing people who share their penchant for never-ending discussions about political BS. They want to appeal to people who
which is why there's none of that in this game, by the way. Like, I don't... Does he think that, like... Does he think that, like, they added a woke character? They made Jesse trans or something? Which would be very based. But, like, what are you fucking complaining about? It's changing, like, a gross racial stereotype, changing sexual harassment as a mechanic, and then one change that I think is, like, yeah, it's probably a little bit too sensitive. I think it's... I wouldn't have. Like, let it be slightly controversial. That's fine. Like, that's the point of the work, you know? But ultimately, it's also not that big a fucking deal. And I actually, you know what, now that I think about it, another thing, so they've kind of slightly modernized it a little bit. Like, they had a character talking about social media, like the survivors talk to. One of the things I really like is the survivor system is so much more fleshed out. Like, they have, and even though we, like, you don't spend that long with the survivors, but, like, they have unique likes. They will point things out in the environment. They'll give you tips about things in the environment. They'll have conversations with you. Like, they're like really fleshed it out. And one of the things they mentioned is, like, social media. Like, oh, this will go viral on social media. And I wonder if the change in Viet Cong was made because, like, that's a difference between 40 and now over 50 years that would have been for that character. Or maybe it was a combination of those factors. I don't know.
Follow us into our hobbies, chase us around, lecturing us constantly, trying desperately to turn us into one of them. That's the part that really pisses them off about us, by the way. The fact that we have been impervious to their overtures. That is who these dingleberries were attempting to appeal to, though. The modern audience with this game by adding all this censorship to Dead Rising. It's too bad, though, because I really wanted to like this game. I really wanted to play it, but I have my principles. The only thing worse than a franchise like Concord that was the epitome of woke shit, the only thing worse is when these same sorts of people get their paws on an established IP and ruin that. I mean, at least Concord was original. It was dumb as hell, but it was original. And speaking of Concord, we all know how bad that game was, how bad that train wreck turned out for Sony. We all know how poorly it performed, but I snagged this image from a few weeks back. This is a snapshot of Concord's Steam statistics from 3 days before the game launched. As you can see, the game had just under 5,000 followers, and it was number 258 in top sellers.
Face cam in parentheticals.
The statistics of Dead Rising, which we're currently 3 days out from the launch of that game right now, so this is a direct comparison. At the time of this recording, Dead Rising has about 3...
EK Brave Man, I just woke up. What did I walk into? A rant tuber with a knockoff Dr. Doom persona is what we're checking out right now.
1,000 more followers than Concord, and it's the 161st top seller as opposed to the 258th. But this is not what you want to see if you're Dead Rising right now. Yes. Beating Concord isn't enough, considering how bad that game turned out. For Cripe's sake, they canceled it already. And considering that Dead Rising is a major AAA release from a prominent studio featuring a popular IP, yeah, this is truly terrible. Just beating Concord isn't enough. They should be dominating Concord. They should be competing with Space Marine 2 for the top spot on Steam right now. But instead, nobody is paying attention to this release. And that is despite the fact that, as I said earlier, there are a ton of articles.
It couldn't be anything to... Oh, God, I forgot about the overtime mode. Fucking... Oh, I forgot about this. Oh, good. It couldn't be because there's dorks like you convincing people that, like, oh, you shouldn't buy this because it's woke. Like, Eris Miseria, I'm sorry, but these dudes weren't bullied enough as kids. True. Their inability to develop social skills and work on themselves while normal people join the game industry. Legit, they have nothing with their games, and good, they deserve nothing. Yeah. Like, that... People like this should expose themselves more often and should go out in public more often, because then they would see how few people, like, if they tried to ask somebody on the street, I kind of wish that one of them would do like man on the street interviews. Like, we're talking to people, hey, what do you think about wokeness in video games? What do you think about the woke changes to Dead Rising, to just an average person? And I would, oh God, I would fucking come from the looks they would get. I would bust from the just absolute confusion people would, like, the fuck? What? Woke video games? Of the average person. If they, oh God, could you imagine if one of these fucking dorks went up, like, man on the street style interview to somebody and asked them about Stellar Blade and told them about Stellar Blade and the controversy around Stellar Blade? I would lose my fucking mind. So good. Maybe I should do that. I guess, because it doesn't need to be them. I could just ask normal people what they think about it. Huh. I've kind of thought about that sometimes. What if I went undercover as somebody who cared about wokeness in games? What if I went to like a big public event and wore a sandwich board that just said, like, ask me about woke games. Change my mind about wokeness in games. I could put like oh God, that's such a dumb idea. I could put like a standee of Eve on the back of the sandwich board and just walk around. That might be jumping the shark a little bit. That'd be very funny though. It would be very funny. Just like that seems like a Walter Masterson joint, honestly. All right, y'all. It is creeping towards 1 o'clock where I am. Thank y'all for all the donos. Thank y'all for... Oh, Brody Smiles. Thank you very much for 13 months in a row. Thank you for joining me on this crazy journey. I have to go sleep. I have a big day of Duskmorn pre-release tomorrow and editing first thing in the morning, so I'm sure I will wake up in 4 or 5 hours. But thank you all for hanging out with me and chatting. I realize this has been a kind of off-kilter stream. I'm trying to do, mostly because not that I don't love hanging out with you guys, because I do, but I am trying to stream more even when I don't necessarily want to, because I'm trying to get all the money I can for the house, for the condo, down payment, bills, all that shit, and barring that, taxes next year, because but do stay tuned to the channel. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a wonderful